Hello, welcome to the weather update. It's on a 9:45, May 16th, and the severe threat really just fizzled, and it really wasn't impressive anywhere across our entire... The area that actually seemed to get hit hardest was the Hudson Valley. We're going to look at the current radar right now, and you can see just a few... We had a couple of showers and maybe a little bit low. We had one shower around like 3... so more like... No, maybe more like 4:15, I guess. It was a heavy shower, maybe one flash of lightning, and then most of the other activity was just along the North Shore, and then one other shower that you see here on the radar this evening that happened around a little bit, I guess, a little before 8 o'clock, and that was pretty much it. It was really not impressive at all across our area. You know, really despite the fact that some of the models kept showing this line coming through, it never really materialized. So I want to look at the. We're going to rewind the radar, and we'll start out what happened earlier today. And you'll see here that, and the reason why there just wasn't enough heat, I don't think there was enough heat to keep things going. So right now, still muggy out there, temperatures in the mid-60s. You're starting to see the drier air working maybe a little bit to the west over Pennsylvania, but still, it's pretty humid out there. Dew points in the upper 50s and low 60s. But I want to look at the high temperatures today. And then we'll get back to this in a moment. So you'll see... Actually, there was plenty of heat over Jersey, but Long Island, we were cool most of the day. High was only 70 in Islip. Even here in Mineola, we had a nice cool breeze. But if you look at Jersey, look at that. Like all the heat over Jersey there. If you were in Toms River, you got up to 82 today. So, yeah, much hotter over Jersey than Long Island because we had that south to almost southeasterly flow. But still, I was surprised that it was only scattered over New Jersey. I thought for sure a line would form given the instability. But I'm going to go back to this radar here. All right, so this is 2 o'clock, and you can see there's a little bit of a line over there. Over this to 3 o'clock, and you can see where it's all setting up to our north here. 3 o'clock, 3:30. You can see it all setting up to the north, and they had some severe weather upstate and in the Hudson Valley, Hudson River area, and into northern Connecticut. But for us, we had this one pop-up shower with a little bit of lightning that went over... I guess it went over Brooklyn and into like central Nassau. Actually went over southwestern Nassau through central Nassau. You can see all the activity, all the severe weather was up here. Poughkeepsie, into this is where they had all the severe weather up here into Hudson Valley, Albany, all the way up to the Hudson River area here, and you can see again, and in northern Connecticut too, like north of Danbury, Waterbury. Now, as far as our area goes, you can see there were a couple of pop-up showers and thunderstorms. Nothing really terribly severe off the North Shore. And then that line moved into New England. And that thing was pretty... This thing looked pretty impressive. But for us, it was just scattered activity. It was never really a solid line. It looked like one was trying to form over here, entering the southern half of New Jersey, or 7 o'clock. I was getting my hopes up. There were a couple of cells. There's one cell that popped over here. I have a whole video of what it looked like outside. You'll see all the thunderstorms just kind of fizzling out. And then another set of cells coming here. But nothing, there was no really substantial line. And now we are kind of out, we are done. There are a couple of thunderstorms that are going to fizzle out over Pennsylvania, and that's it. So this severe threat was kind of a bust for us, unfortunately. If you wanted to see that severe weather, well, you didn't get to see it. I was kind of hyped up, stoked up, and we didn't really get it, and a little disappointing, but what are you going to do? But anyway, let's look at some of our rainfall amounts. Probably won't be that much. In fact, I'm not even going to bother with this site. Let's go. You can see again, cool on Long Island, much cooler versus Jersey, much hotter in Jersey, and the city as well. Let's see, 74 at LaGuardia. I'm wondering what Central Park got up to. I don't know why Central Park doesn't want to show up on this thing. 73, so not that warm in the city either. It was all the heat was in Jersey. It's Jersey, and it's hot there. That's why their hockey team is called the Devils. Yow! All right, let's go to the underground and look at our precipitation amounts. This site seems to be a lot better here. So let's look at our rainfall amounts. And where it rained, it came down. And actually, I wanted to show you a picture. Hold on, see, I didn't... Did I show you the pictures of the clouds? I did not show you the pictures of the clouds. Okay, so let's do that. So this is actually, let's start with earlier on today. I do have a video, so that's why I don't really want to go nuts with it. But you can see here, this is the billowing clouds we saw in the afternoon. This is around, more like evening, around 5 o'clock. You can see this one's trying to get a Pileus there. Cumulonimbus cloud. Cumulus congestus becoming cumulonimbus. There's some of the pictures I took from Rockville Sun. You can see all the pollen, too. That's what I want to show you, all the pollen that was in there. So, yeah, that's a lot of pollen there. So you can see it rained a lot when it did come down. This was the earlier shower that hit us around 4 o'clock. See some of the dark clouds. And this, yeah, I was at Hempstead when it hit. I had to change buses, and, yeah, it poured. It poured. I was thought we'd get a good rainbow, but it never happened. So, anyway, so showing you some of the clouds this evening. You can see this is what we saw this evening developing, and again, I was just getting my hopes up that we'd get something. And this is some of the billowing clouds off to the north. Again, this was around 6:30, 7 o'clock, and nothing ever materialized from it. This is all over the North Shore, and the tops were not that high either. You could see that on these storms, so they were not really anything. This was toward the evening. This was the final batch of rain that came in there over Rockville Center. I have a whole video, so I don't go nuts with this, but showing you the pictures here. Again, there's some of the clouds. So some pretty clouds, some cool cloud formations in the sky. But other than that, we didn't really get anything. It was kind of a bust for us, that's for sure. And then this evening, you could see, still muggy out, but you could see some clearing behind this front. So, looking at the rainfall totals, you can see generally where some of the areas got up to 1/4 of an inch, and that rain did come down there as you saw in the picture. But other than that, not really a whole lot of rain. I think most of the heavier rain amounts were to the north of us, so not a whole lot of rain. Maybe a little more rain in Jersey. Let's see. No, nothing. Bone dry in Toms River, nothing. Despite it being so hot there, they didn't get anything. If you go north, that's all the action was north. That's where the heavy rainfall amounts were. 1/2 an inch, 3/4 of an inch. Oh, look at this. This site's got 2.19 inches up here in Slatesburg. So upstate, upstate up the Hudson River, that's where it seemed like all the action was. We didn't really get anything. It was kind of just a bust for us. So, well, let's go. Now that we got that out of the way, let's talk about what we have to look forward to, which is some nice weather for a change. We won't have to deal with any of this. So, looking at the surface, which we'll start with, there's our cold front. High pressure builds in. We have dry weather tomorrow, dry weather for Wednesday. Then we have a little system coming in for Thursday. And then you'll start to see this ridge build here as we head into the weekend. That's going to bring in some warm weather. And depending on the wind direction, we'll have to see how warm it gets. This ridge will be with us until the next cold front comes through and moves through a week from today, hopefully. So the good news is the ridge won't get stuck there for too long. And then you can see it's still forming this system that we don't know what it's going to do with. That is way too far in advance. But right now, that looks like I said, a formidable hurricane. And like I said, technically the season doesn't start until June. But because of the climate changes going on in our atmosphere, hurricane season is really going to eventually be all year long. So let's go to the upper air pattern here, and I'm going to leave this actually in here. I'm not going to change this out of the CONUS. So you'll see we do have a little more of a jet stream. That's why we got this cold front there. That's why we're getting these cold fronts through. And so we are seeing more of a jet stream, which is good to see. But then you can see what happens as we get toward the end of the period again. We've got this ridging, this crazy ridging starting to develop again. And when we see that, that's going to mean heat. So, looking at this here, this is our upper air. That was the jet stream. This is the upper air. See that little trough coming through. That'll bring us some cooling and drying air. And then we get to deal with the ridge on the weekend. And then you can see there's your tropical system right there, way in advance. I'm not even going to... Yeah, but you can see, look at this crazy ridge it's building toward the end of the month there. I'm not looking forward to that at all, because that is going to mean heat. So we'll go to our temperature anomaly chart here on the GFS. You'll see tomorrow we will be a little bit above normal still, and then a little bit close to normal on Wednesday, and close to normal on Thursday. But you can see we're on the borderline, and here comes the above normal weather. Friday, Saturday, it's going to really be warm over the weekend. Sunday it gets squashed a little bit, but still dealing with it. That's a cold front that's going to come through. And then we'll go below normal to near normal. Actually be below normal for a little bit there, Monday and Tuesday. And then the heat starts to try to build again. And as we get toward the end of the month, you will see here. Actually, it doesn't look too bad, despite the upper air looking terrible for the heat. But anyway, let's go closer to our area and go to the HRRR model and look at the precipitation chances that we'll have. Obviously, we're done with the rain. We're going to be done with it. We'll be dry tomorrow. Interesting, it's generating some showers way offshore sometime late tomorrow night. And then Wednesday we should be dry too. And then we have to watch. This would be our next system here that bring us some showers on Thursday. Good news is the humidity comes down because the humidity is high. It's brutal. And the winds go to westerly tonight, and it should drive that humidity down. Dew points drop, particularly maybe a little bit high in the morning, but then the dew points drop a little more in the afternoon. And we see the dew points drop first into the 50s, then the 40s, and it'll be feeling a lot more comfortable with the west to northwest wind. And then we'll have even drier air on Wednesday with a west wind. So much better conditions than we're dealing with. This humidity has been awful. I absolutely hate the humidity, as you know. So looking at temperatures tonight, won't drop too far, probably mid to upper 50s. And then tomorrow's still going to be a warm day. We're still going to see highs probably. So actually could be warmer today than it was, warmer tomorrow than it was today for a lot of areas on Long Island, because again, Long Island was kept cool by the sea breeze. Again, if we look at the observations, if I pull up that map again, if we look at the observations from our sites on Long Island, like Farmingdale, for instance, we'll look at Farmingdale. You'll see Farmingdale mainly in the morning it was right around 70, and then it dropped into the 60s, and it was a nice cool breeze. I don't know why it's showing light rain. I don't think there was light rain in Farmingdale. I don't know why it's showing that. But generally, you can see mid-60s. All right, let's go to iSlip. And we get a little more reliable reading there. Again, we'll show you, again, the difference here in the temperatures here, because it was quite, again, mid-60s on Long Island. Generally mid-60s in the afternoon. Meanwhile, if you were in Jersey, you were dealing with you're dealing with a lot worse. Go to Lakehurst here. Dealing with 80s. The same time we had 60s, they were dealing with 80s. Brutal. 82. Look at that. At 5 o'clock, 82 degrees. So, yeah, that's the kind of heat you were dealing with in Jersey. All right, anyway. Getting back to this, you will see here that tomorrow will probably be warmer across Long Island because, again, lack of sea breeze. Probably warm, but it'll be a nice day. The sun we'll have sunshine tomorrow night. We'll probably have lows in the low to mid-50s. Be a comfortable night, clear skies, and then a little cooler on Wednesday with highs in the upper 60s to around 70. All right, so the cool air is going to take a little while to build in a little bit, all right? But it will definitely be more comfortable. And then going beyond that, we'll go beyond that, and we'll go to the dew points here. We'll go to the GFS now. This is the GFS on the dew point side, fairly close to the HRRR. You'll start seeing some more moisture work into the region on Thursday, and if you start feeling a little more humidity come in as we start dealing with the warmer air coming into the picture, here we are Friday. You see a southerly flow, though, so that's important. That should keep Long Island cooler, but you can see we're still not dealing with too much humidity, but you can see off to the west we have more humidity, and I think we wind up dealing with that on the weekend. But the wind flow seems to be south, but we'll have to see. This is if it goes a little more westerly, because it's showing southwesterly, then it could be warmer for us. On Long Island, and then cooler air for Monday, drier air for Monday, I should say. Looking at temperatures, here we are Tuesday. Again, pretty much similar to the HRRR. You'll see Wednesday will be cooler, but there could be some more clouds around. Thursday, we'll have this system moving through, like a warm front type of system, and that, again, would bring us our next chance of rain if we put the rain up here. You will see, but it doesn't look like huge chances for rain. All right. And then as we head into Friday, this is when we start seeing the warm-up. Yeah, it looks kind of brutal. Jersey, you could see close to 90. Up mid to upper 70s on Long Island, maybe close to 80 on the North Shore. It's going to be quite warm. And then Saturday this looks really bad, actually. It could be 90 on the North Shore. If the winds go more westerly, and if they're more wet southwesterly, then we're going to die in the middle of the island. The South Shore, 90s for Jersey. You're going to be well into the 90s. So it looks like a pair of brutal days, and then a little less brutal for Sunday. But, yeah, we're going to watch this weekend heat wave here that the GFS is talking about. We'll have more time to fine-tune that as we get closer. But, yeah, it looks like it's going to be pretty brutal. Like I said, that wind is more southwesterly, then you're going to really have to be right on the South Shore to get any kind of relief because you're going to have all that heat coming off Jersey. But I still think Jersey is going to see it worse than any place on Long Island. They'll have to see. You can see we'll have a better idea when we get closer to it. Right now, it's only the GFS that we have to work with. It's the only model we have to work with right now. It's not in the short-range models at all. I do want to go back to the Wonder Map. We'll look at a few more stations here. We can get a few more stations. I'm kind of curious to look at Mineola. Let's see how Mineola did today, and then we'll get back. We'll talk about the skies. But I just want to, we've been kind of all over the place here. 70. There's no way it hit 79 in Mineola today. That is way off. So there's something wrong with that site. That's no way it hit 79. All right, that site. We'll have to use Carl Place, but the problem is Carl Place's dew points don't work. But I guess maybe at least their temperatures will work. Because when you're relying on these home weather stations, sometimes the information you'll get can be 75. Really? I don't know. I don't think so. No, I don't think it got that warm here at all. Let's try this other site. I don't know. Some of these are reading high. But what it is some of these home weather stations, they're not. Let's see what we got here. No data available. Here we go. 76. I guess it's showing it hit 76, but whatever. We had a very strong sea breeze when I went out in the afternoon. I guess what ended up happening was earlier on it was in the mid-70s when there wasn't a whole lot of wind, and then it dropped off once the sea breeze came in around 3:30, and it dropped off into the upper 60s. Because at the time I went out in the afternoon, it was cool. Even here in Mineola, there was a nice breeze. So it must have been warm earlier on, I guess. And I'm curious how it was on the South Shore, so we're going to have to look at that now. Let's go to Massapequa Park. That's Biltmore Shores. They're all Biltmore Shores. The Massapequa Woods. Let's see ours in Massapequa Woods, where they probably didn't have... they got up to 73 as well. But their 73 was early. Then it dropped. This looks like there was a shower at this time, and then it came back up again because there was some scattered showers around. And that's what I think killed this front. It was just too slow moving, and there was too much activity ahead of the front that kind of just caused it to fall apart. But let's now finally look at the skies. And we will start with the, not GFS, RGEM. All right, so let's move this back to tomorrow. So tomorrow we should have mostly sunny skies, and then there could be some clouds that could pop up in the afternoon, and then they'll kind of fade away toward later in the afternoon. So it probably won't be a completely clear day just because there's going to be some residual moisture around. And then as far as Wednesday goes, we'll start off with sun, but then we're going to have to deal with these cirrus clouds coming in. If the morning might be clear, we might be able to have at least a decent first half of the day before these clouds roll in. And then Thursday we'll be dealing with obviously more clouds, and then as we head toward the weekend, obviously we'll have those probably hazy sunshine kind of skies there with lots of cirrus around. And again, I'm not looking forward to that heat at all. It's out of range. I mean, I don't have that many more models to use. We could go to the Ventu sky and look at how that would shape up with the heat. We can also look at the Ventu sky, look at the clouds situation for tomorrow. And again, I think 9 a.m. we'll have mostly sunny skies. 11 a.m. you can start seeing these cumulus clouds building a little bit. Though I think there'll be definitely more sun than clouds. But, there could be some patchy clouds around. But other than that, it should be a pretty decent day. And Wednesday, we got to watch out for the cirrus that could roll in on us. We'll have to see about that. But I want to go to the temperatures and look and see how this is showing Friday. All right, so this is Ventu sky for Friday. And you can see Long Island, it looks fairly comfortable on Long Island. This is 2 o'clock, while Jersey's well into the 80s. So it looks like a decent sea breeze. It's got more of a southerly flow, almost a southeasterly flow. But let's see what happens Now, here's the problem for Saturday. It goes a little more southwesterly. So, if you're inland, you could get near the 80-degree mark. North Shore, you'll be in the mid-80s. 90s for Jersey. Oh, my God. Has 95 in Jersey. So, yeah, we won't see it that bad here on Long Island, but this is going to be some pretty substantial heat for the weekend, I think, especially if you're in New Jersey. Look at this, 5 o'clock. You could be 97 west of Toms River. Meanwhile, in Mineola, it'll be 72. And if you're on the South Shore, it'll be in the 60s. So this is why I don't want to live in Jersey. Oh, God, 103. Oh, my God. So it's just hot. And it is the fastest warming state of all the states in the country. It is warming the most with climate change. So it's not a surprise because when you look at where the airflow is flowing, it's all over land, and it's just picking up more and more heat. So yeah, it's going to be hot in Jersey on the weekend. That's not the place you want to be. Unless you like the heat, of course. Maybe some of us like the heat. But don't dare tell me to shut up and go live in New Jersey. You can shut up and bake there. That's going to be it for this weather update. Take care, and thank you for watching.